Tonight on SCTV3, see how students are preparing for finals and the resources available to them on campus.
Plus, what are students planning for their summer breaks?
All that and more tonight on SCTV3.
Hello and welcome to the final weekly news broadcast of the year. I'm Olivia Gentry.
And I'm Caitlin Kupiak. Thank you for joining us.
We begin tonight on Alden Street. With finals just a week away, many Springfield College students are feeling the pressure from late night study sessions and stressful deadlines.
But students don't have to face it alone. Springfield College offers several resources to help students stay on track academically and mentally. I spoke with staff at the Academic Success Center and the Counseling Center to learn what support is available during the final push of the school year.
Finals season is here. And for many Springfield College students, that means long nights, high stress, and a lot of pressure. But there are resources on campus designed to help students stay on track and take care of their mental health. From late night study sessions to managing stress and practicing self-care, preparing for finals can be overwhelming. Lauren Gray from Springfield College's Counseling Center says she likes to provide students with the helicopter method during finals week.
I find that something that I'm often able to do with students is maybe put everything out in front of them, like externalize it rather than holding everything in and internalizing it.
Another resource on campus is the Academic Success Center, located on the 3rd floor in the Learning Commons. The center offers tutoring in math, science, writing, and more, and helps students set personalized goals to develop strong study habits. Coaching topics include time management, organization, active learning strategies, and more. Kenny Dalton from Springfield College's Academic Success Center says why students should use the center to their advantage.
Our team here really want to be a hub for students to be able to meet their academic goals and to focus and use all the resources available. So that might be meeting with staff, that might be utilizing our peer tutors, the technology and resources available.
For students looking for a quiet place to study, the Learning Commons will be open 24 hours during finals week. Springfield students will need their ID to get through the front doors.
Students can also reserve private library study rooms through the Springfield College Library Services website or by scanning the code outside a room.
The Springfield College Dance Club performed its annual spring dance concert over the weekend. The show was split into 2 acts. 22 dancers and choreographers showcased their passion of dance through the show's theme of community, a core value for the SC dancers. The show included individual performances focused on grief and mental health. Each act had a dance designed by a senior dance major student, which included original choreography that highlighted issues like the social stigma against women. Julia Merck, the president of the club, is proud of the show the group put together.
Seeing all of the dancers rally together to put that together, and the depth and the willingness that all of the dancers were able to take is just something that I don't feel like you'll find elsewhere.
The SC Dancers Club holds amateur nights where all levels of dance experience are welcome.
2 annual student publications have hit the press. The Pride Sports Journal, a yearly sports magazine highlighting the stories and accomplishments of student athletes on Springfield's campus, will be available next week. And the Alden Street Review, Springfield College's annual literary magazine featuring various forms of writing from students, has already been printed and can be found across the campus. Eli Colon Mendez, the editor-in-chief for ASR, says student-led publications are very important to the campus.
Sports Journal and also the Alden Street Review, they're 2 separate spaces of literature, and yet they still capture elements that are important to people.
Students will be able to find copies of both editions at various spots on campus, including the 2nd floor of Weiser Hall.
The annual spring concert was held in Marsh Memorial Chapel on Tuesday evening as a part of the William Simpson Fine Arts Series. The concert featured the music of the Springfield College Community Chorus, directed by Aidan Linden, and the Springfield College Band, directed by Chris Gagney. In total, 15 songs were performed, with solos featuring members of both the band and chorus, and wrapped up with the fan favorite, Somebody to Love by Queen. The concert was dedicated to the memory of Chris Haynes, who passed away earlier this year. Haynes was an associate professor emeritus of music at Springfield and has left a lasting impact on the school's musical groups. The final event for the William Simpson Fine Arts Series is the Graduate Art Therapy and Counseling Majors exhibition from May 5th to 17th in the Blizzard Art Gallery.
Yesterday afternoon, there was a display put up in the Union to celebrate Denim Day. The Denim Day campaign falls on the last Wednesday every April and has become an international movement. The denim represents unity with survivors of sexual violence and assault. Its purpose is to bring awareness to sexual crimes and especially to highlight the problems with victim blaming. The table in the Union featured a message board that students could write on, as well as contact information for resources for those who have dealt with sexual violence, like the YWCA of Western Massachusetts. The campaign doesn't just aim to raise awareness of these problems, but to educate others and encourage conversations about preventing future crimes.
3 students have been working on a new startup based around credit usage. The group hopes that one day it will become a mainstay in the fintech industry. SCTV3's Patrick Fergus has more.
3 students at Springfield College are trying to make their mark in the fintech industry. Miraj Hussain, a junior computer science major, is the chief operating officer for a new startup entitled Smart Credit, which serves as a new resource for credit card holders.
Then we did the depth research about that, like massive need of this one in America. Average people have more than 4 credit card users. Millions of people are using the credit card. After doing the numbers of days, week of the research, we thought, okay, this is the idea where we want to tap it.
Smart Credit is currently in the development stage and aims to provide recommendations and alerts for credit card users. The final goal of the program is to create an app that can instantly and effortlessly recommend which credit card to use for any purchase, with an intelligent location tracking system and an AI-powered engine to identify the maximum cashback for its users. Joining Hussain is Camille Shrestha, who has tackled the thousands of lines of code needed to get the app ready for customer use.
You never know, like, if your program is going to be able to handle like thousands of requests at one time or not. So you never know, like, how your program will work on a live server.
To get the branding and purpose of Smart Credit out to possible investors, they recruited Dixay Upadhyaya, who says it's been a new type of challenge trying to market the startup.
It's very different in a sense because you're marketing something that's not really tangible, something that people can't really see because our app was still in progress. And it's a new challenge in itself, because that really puts your speaking, your ability to present or give a narrative to a thing that does not exist in different kinds of like this networking events has been a special privilege because it has really tested my skills.
Throughout the year-long process, the students have been brought closer together through their shared heritage, as they are all international students from Nepal.
Except our work, we do our work, like we do coding, we do projects, we do everything, except that we like whenever we are free, like we can talk about like other aspects also, like we can talk about what we love, like what we love to eat.
Having that privilege to bring Nepali community and to reflect that has been another, like it adds another layer to our story because it's an amazing one. Being an international student and having a startup, like having that idea and actually bringing it to life is beautiful.
The Learning Commons right behind me has become a sort of home base for the group over the past year. The next steps, though, are clear. Over the summer, they will work hard to raise capital from investors and venture capitalists and bring smarter credit usage to their users. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Patrick Fergus.
A demo version of the software is available at smartcredit.tech.
With summer weather on the mind, what does the forecast say for the final week of classes? Reese Merritt is in Studio B for our local and national weather update. Reese, what are you seeing?
Thanks, Caitlin. As warmer air and sunny skies have stretched across campus, tomorrow may be your last chance to soak up that last bit of sunshine. There will be a high of 79 late tomorrow afternoon, but as you can see, clouds will shift into the weekend and into the beginning of the week. Temperatures sticking around in the 60s. During that cloudy stretch, though, you may want to pack a hood as a chance of scattered showers remains present up until Tuesday evening of next week. But we hold on to a little bit of hope as Friday should hit 70 degrees and that sun may finally show just as finals are beginning. Now looking at national headlines, severe storm stretched from Texas to New York on Tuesday, having left at least 3 people dead in Pennsylvania. There were more than 300 reports of severe weather from North Texas up to New York, including likely tornadoes, wind gusts surging past 100 miles per hour, and hail and heavy rain that caused flash flooding yesterday afternoon. More than 400,000 customers were still without power across Pennsylvania, while multiple school districts delayed opening or stay closed. Pittsburgh Mayor Ed Gainey said cleanup and restoration efforts were underway and urged residents to stay off the road unless travel was essential. Back to you guys in Studio A.
After the break, we speak to Braden Shea, the outgoing editor-in-chief of the Springfield Student, the campus newspaper.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up.
Laws
and
alone cannot stop a bullet.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
The Springfield Student has been hard at work completing its annual Pride Sports Journal magazine and have printed 25 editions of the weekly newspaper. SCTV3's Liam Riley spoke with editor-in-chief Braden Shea about how this year's edition turned out and what he has taken away from his time with the Student.
Well, it was around October of my freshman year, and Marty Dobrow we had an assignment for his class cover event. I did a seat at the table event. We had a turn in the class. Marty liked it. He sent it over to Joe Ruda, who was the co-editor-in-chief at the time with Irene Rotundo. And after that, I kind of just started going to their weekly meetings, and been here ever since. One, it's making sure everybody's actually doing their jobs, keeping everybody else in check. But it's reaching out to our printing services, make sure that they got all the files and things like that. It's making sure that layout is done on time. It's making sure that everyone's stories are going to be in time. I've kind of reached a point where I don't want to say stepped away, but I've let other people kind of take on more responsibility. So I'm more of just an overseer at this point. Oh, you can see it right here. I think it's, I don't want to be biased, but I think it's our best one yet. We put a lot of effort into the visuals this year. We also wanted to get the timing down so we can get it when people are still on campus, but I'm unbelievably proud of how this one came out. It feels more like a real magazine and less like a student magazine. It's been very nice. The PSJ one, my sophomore year, I did one on Jen Thomas, who's the women's lacrosse coach here. It was during her first year, kind of just got lucky, was doing a story on her for the newspaper, just like a, introduction to her, and ended up, she has an incredible story, and she let me write, she was very open, let me write that story on her. That was a lot of fun to do. I felt like I wrote that pretty well. For newspaper-wise, there's another feature. It was also my sophomore year on JoJo Gonzalez, who was a graduate assistant wrestler, who was just, I enjoyed the lead. The team loved him. He was a great guy to talk to himself. He was, just one of those fun stories. And afterwards, he was very appreciative of it. He even said that his dad loved it. So it was, one of the few times that, you get a lot of really good feedback on a story. That one was really fun to do as well.
Shea has also spent a significant amount of time interning for the athletics office, working in sports information.
On Monday night, the Athletic Leadership Series held another speaker event focused on culture for leaders in sports. The panel featured legendary Springfield College coaches and leaders, women's basketball coach Naomi Graves, men's lacrosse coach Keith Bugby, and swim coach Howard Hines, and sport management professor Heather Gilmore. The four shared their insights on what it takes to build and maintain a strong team culture. For students in attendance, they were put into breakout sessions to discuss some of their takeaways. A member of the Athletic Leadership Committee, Brian Pacific, said it's important to learn from leaders on campus.
So for these events, it's a great experience, first of all. You get some of the best advice from some of the greatest minds we have at Springfield or beyond. You know, we have a committee that works very hard to get people from all perspectives to come in and answer questions that we spend a whole semester planning. So this is a meticulously planned event that takes a lot of work, that is a group effort from multiple graduate students, plus the director of the Athletic Leadership Program.
From stories of championship legacies to personal lessons, attendees left with practical tools for impacting their teams.
Now turning to some of the biggest national stories from this week. The retrial for Karen Reed started last week after her first trial ended with a hung jury and a mistrial last July. Key witnesses are now facing questioning from the defense and the prosecution. SCTV3's Lanaya Delgado has more on the developing story.
Jen McCabe describing the first word she heard in a frantic 5 a.m. phone call from Karen Reed on January 29th. The critical witness taking a stand Tuesday afternoon. McCabe was there for most of the events around John O'Keefe's death and helped Karen search for him the following morning.
And she told me she didn't remember being there. And then she went on to say, she started saying, could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
Who is Jen? She's the sister of Nicole Albert, who's married to Brian Albert. The couple owned the home at 34 Fairview Road where O'Keefe's body was found on the lawn. McCabe was out at the bar Friday with the group. She invited John and Karen to the after party and says she saw Karen Reed's car outside.
Did they ever make it in the house?
No, they did not.
Defense alleges John O'Keefe went inside the house that night and was beaten, contrary to the state's theory that Karen Reed hit him with her car.
Was there ever any fighting?
No, none at all.
Jen McCabe did not see John O'Keefe's body on the front lawn as she left the house. She was woken up hours later when Karen Reed called, and she describing finding John an hour or so later.
First, I just stood there for a minute because I couldn't believe it was him.
Karen Reed is facing trial for the second time and has pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence of alcohol, and leaving the scene of a personal injury and death. Prosecutors say she hit and killed O'Keefe, a Boston police officer who she was dating. Her previous trial was declared a mistrial after a hung jury. With SCTV3, I'm Lanaya Delgado.
Reed is set to be back in court tomorrow for the second week of trial, held at Norfolk Superior Court in Dedham, Massachusetts.
Over the past couple of days, tens of thousands of union workers in Los Angeles County went on strike. The workers said they protested repeated violations of labor laws and a failure to bargain in good faith. SCTV3's Chris Schoenleber has more on the historic strike.
This week, union workers in Los Angeles County are accusing the county of failing to fairly negotiate a new contract. Over 55,000 workers over the past 2 days have protested the unfair labor practices and are demanding more pay and staffing.
I want to see all these hard-working folks that are out here with me today get what they deserve. They need a contract where they can live. Right now, everything's expensive. We need to have a good contract.
A 48-hour strike began Monday evening. Yesterday, 10,000 union members flooded the streets of downtown to rally and march. The union says 14 members were arrested. A sea of purple marched from the Hall of Administration, where the board of supervisors were meeting yesterday morning.
We are here for an unfair labor practice strike because Los Angeles County has failed to come to the table to bargain with us in good faith. We have been bargaining since December.
The residents and union workers of Los Angeles County feel they are being treated unfairly and protesting to make their voices heard. The protests mostly impacted the workforce for health clinics, public libraries, and environmental cleanup services. Union leaders said they will continue to push for a better deal. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Chris Schoenleber.
In total, 14 union members were arrested, but spokespeople say they are still motivated to reach an agreement.
This past Tuesday marked 100 days since President Trump took office as the 47th President of the United States. His first 4 months have been headlined by his tariff policy and illegal immigration efforts. Here's more. President Donald Trump's first 100 days in office have made significant impacts on U.S. life. In his current time in office, the U.S. has seen changes in border security, the economy, and federal employment. One of President Trump's greatest 2024 campaign promises was to increase border security and limit immigration within the U.S.
My administration has increased arrests of known and suspected terrorists by 655%.
And sent military troops to hinder illegal crossings. Tom Homan, Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations, spoke earlier this week about the current state of the border.
12,000, some days 15,000 illegal entrants in the United States. You know what the number was last 24 hours? 178.
President Trump also made moves to decrease inflation and food prices for the average American. Trump's tariff policy has created a steady rise in food costs, but he believes the policy will bring back jobs to the U.S.
Japan, we love Japan. We don't want them building them in Japan. We want them to build them here. We want China to build them in here. We want them all to build them right in here. That's what they've done to us for 40 years.
President Trump's first 100 days also included a mass dismissal of federal employees. The Department of Government Efficiency has helped orchestrate this dismissal.
We're going to imbue the agency with a clear sense of mission to radically improve the health of Americans and to improve agency morale.
More than 10,000 federal employees were laid off across the U.S. Health and Human Service Department. Robert Kennedy Jr., Secretary of Health and Human Services, ordered the cut as his first step in revamping the agency.
It still causes extreme fear in folks that are living with HIV. It causes a feeling of instability and uncertainty.
President Trump has also made moves to freeze funding to the USDA, unemployment insurance, school breakfast programs, and other government-funded programs. This morning, the White House announced National Security Advisor Mike Waltz would be leaving his post. Waltz is the first high-ranking member of the administration to leave.
When we come back, Sam Paul has the latest on Springfield athletics on Sports Extra.
I'm Shane Barron, the host and co-producer of a brand new show called Thursday Night Springfield. The show features all kinds of never-done-before segments coming to Springfield College TV, like our Walk and Talk Field Pass, an exclusive coaching session, Got What It Takes, a game show featuring students in Outsmarted, and a lively debate between three sports enthusiasts. Tune into our YouTube channel tonight at 7:30 for the fastest 30 minutes in sports. You won't regret it.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
Hello and welcome to SCTV3 Sports Extra. I'm Sam Paul, bringing you the latest on all things Pride Athletics. Here's how Springfield College athletics performed this week. The women's lacrosse team won its opening round of the NEWMAC playoffs against Wheaton College 18-1 this past Saturday. Despite the rainy conditions, the Pride got out to a dominant start and never looked back. Lily Johnson and Samantha Andreessen both shined in the win, tallying 4 goals each. Springfield College up 5-0 against the Lions in the first period as Isabella Mazzi finds Lily Johnson in front of the net, who fires in the team's 6th goal of the game. The women's lacrosse team's playoff run ended against MIT last night in a 9-6 loss. Softball had a doubleheader on Tuesday against Manhattanville. The Pride swept the doubleheader, winning the first game by a score of 3-1 and the second by a score of 6-3. The Pride were down 1-0 early in Game 1, but Michaela Ponticello was able to change that. Ponticello laces an RBI triple into left field, kickstarting a 3-run inning that scored all of Springfield's runs in Game 1. The Pride have a doubleheader at Smith tomorrow and another at Salve Regina on Saturday to wrap up its season. Men's lacrosse are headed into the NEWMAC Championship Tournament as the 1 seed and are currently playing in the semifinals. SCTV3's Corwin Dixon spoke with senior Caden Quirk about how the team is preparing for postseason play.
Hi, I'm Corwin Dixon. I'm here with Caden Quirk of the men's lacrosse team. Caden, congrats on the season.
Thank you.
So my first question, what does it mean for you to win a NEWMAC title?
Yeah, I think it's something that obviously you think about a lot. Being a part of the Springfield men's lacrosse team, that's obviously one of our goals year in and year out. But at the same time, it's something that we don't necessarily talk about a whole lot. We're very focused on the process and everything that goes into the course of a season on a day-to-day basis at practice. And now that we're starting to roll into playoffs here, we're more so just focused on playing Salve on Thursday.
So your dad also is on the team at Springfield College. How special is it to be able to play for the same coach who coached him and to win a title?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Me and my dad are very close, and like you said, he played here back in the 90s, graduated in 1995, played for Coach Bugby, and it's definitely been a full circle moment for both of us and Coach Bugby, and something that I'll always cherish.
So what drew you to playing goalie specifically?
Yeah, my dad was a goalie, so it was kind of in my blood a little bit. But growing up, I started out as an attackman, actually. Played attack until about the 6th grade, and the team needed a goalie, and kind of stepped in, did what the team needed at the time, and stuck with it.
So being a goalie, what's your favorite type of save to make?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, I'd like to think that all saves are created equally, but they're probably not. I think making a big doorstep save one-on-one is definitely something that you can't really match doing anything else, in my opinion.
So you made 17 saves in a game against Amherst. Like, walk me through that. Like, how did the game go for you?
Yeah, it was a midweek game over at Amherst College. Really good opponent, obviously, nationally ranked. And I think for our team, defensively, it was really important that we just played our style, and we contained their offense, which has exploded against some other teams, which was great. But I think the biggest thing is that my defense, they allow me to see shots day in and day out that I like to see, that can allow for us to have success as a group.
All right. Thanks, Caden. Congrats with New Max, and good luck against Salve Regina.
Great. Thank you so much.
If the team wins tonight, it then faces Babson or MIT in the championship on Saturday at 1. Now to take a look at the upcoming schedule. Men's lacrosse entered the NEWMAC Championship tournament and are currently taking on 4th seed Salve Regina in the semifinals. The Pride took on the Seahawks 2 weeks ago and won 10-8. Baseball ends its season this Saturday with a doubleheader against Babson. Track and field competes in the New England Division III Championships hosted by Coast Guard. Softball ends its regular season when it travels to Salve Regina for a doubleheader. Springfield is 3-1 versus Salve all time. To see each team's end-of-year schedule, check out SpringfieldCollegePride.com. That'll do it for this edition of Sports Extra. Stick around to see what the Springfield students are planning for their summer break.
Hey, boss. Okay.
I said I'm fine.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Oh, Vanessa. You gonna text her back?
Nope. I'm high. I'm gonna hit the treadmill.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
We need to go meet the guys. I'm lit. Can you drive?
Nope. I'm high. How about they come over?
Where?
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
With the final week of classes quickly approaching, many students have their minds on the end of year and summer break. SCTV3's Shane Barron spoke to some students about what they have planned for the summer months.
I'm Shane Barron, and with the semester winding down and summer fast approaching, I'm going to be going around campus to find out what people's plans are. What are you planning on doing this summer?
I'm going to Italy and Aruba.
That's awesome. Which one first?
Italy.
Which one are you more excited about?
I'm excited about both.
If you had to pick one.
Italy.
All right, so what are your guys' summer plans?
My summer plans, I'm taking summer classes and I'm working.
Where are you working?
I don't know yet. I gotta find a new job.
All right, you have plenty of time to do that. What about you?
I'm working and going on vacation.
Where are you working and where on vacation?
Rhode Island, and I'm working as a medical assistant.
Oh, that's awesome. Anywhere specific in Rhode Island or just the whole state, doing a whole tour?
Charlestown.
Charlestown, sweet, awesome. All right, thank you guys. All right, Emily, what are your summer plans?
I'm going to St. John's actually.
St. like the university?
No, the island.
Oh, where's that?
I don't know.
Is it like down or?
I think it's down.
Down. Okay, so not St. John's University.
No.
What are your plans for this summer?
My plans is to work out, get a job, stack my money, and come back to school.
Okay. Any idea where you're gonna be working?
I'm trying to get the security job. I'm trying to get take this class real quick. So I can get my license to be a security.
Oh, that's awesome. You'll be pretty damn good at it. Okay, so obviously you guys are graduating. You're gonna have big summer plans. So what are they for you?
I'm currently just looking for a job and we're planning a wedding, so that's really exciting.
Oh, no way! Oh, congrats. That's gonna be fun summer planning then. Wow. Awesome. Well, congratulations, guys. What are your guys' summer plans?
Racing dirt bikes.
Racing dirt bikes. Love it.
We're gonna go see Coldplay.
Oh, that's even better. I don't know which one's cooler there. What do you think? If you had to pick between racing dirt bikes and seeing Coldplay, which one are you picking?
I gotta stick with the dirt bikes. It's my thing.
What do you have to say about that?
Dirt bikes.
Oh, unanimous dirt bikes.
That's all we have tonight on weekly news and for the spring semester. From everyone here at SCTV3, we want to thank you for tuning in this year, and it's been a pleasure highlighting the latest news and stories on campus.
And while Weekly News is signing off, don't go anywhere. We have a brand new show at SCTV3, Thursday Night Springfield, the fastest 30 minutes in sports. It's right here on the YouTube channel under the video tab, starting in just a few minutes. We think you'll really enjoy it. And as for the episodes of Weekly News, they'll return in the fall.
Same time,
same place.